In this video, we are going to learn how to do a pie chart. So here I have my first question. The table below shows the grades of students who wrote the math exam in 2023. We want to draw a pie chart to represent the information. So this is my table here. I have grades 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This column here would be the number of students, which is also the frequency. So that's why I have this little F here to represent frequency. So that means 25 students got a grade 1, 41 students got a grade 2, 73 students got a grade 3, 20 students got a grade 4, and 12 students got a grade 5. Now to draw a pie chart, we need to know the angles for each category. So that's why I have this angles column here. So I need to know the angle to draw for the grade 1s, the angle to draw for grade 2s, grade 3s, and so on. Now a pie chart is in the form of a circle that's cut up into like slices like a pizza. And of course, the size of the slice will depend on the size of the angle. So before I can start working out the angles, I need to know the total number of students. So that means I'll have to add up everything in this column here. So I'm just going to write here total number of students. So I'm just going to bring my calculator up to add up the total number of students. So I'll have 25 plus 41 plus 73 plus 20 plus 12. And that'll be equal to 171. So my total number of students is 171. Now what I could also do on this column here is that the sigma symbol means to add, which is the summation sign. So this sigma symbol is the summation sign, which means to add. And since this column here is the frequency, I'll say sigma f, which means to add up everything in the frequency column. So when I add everything up here, that will be equal to 171, which is my total number of students. So now to work out the angle for grade 1, I would have that 25 students out of the 171, so I put over 171, and since a full revolution for a circle is 360 degrees, I need to multiply this by 360 over 1, or I could just put 360, put equal to, so I'll go to my calculator and I'll type in 25 divided by 171 multiplied by 360, and I would get, this is 52.631 and so on. Now, to draw an angle using my protractor, the smallest unit is 1 degree. So I'll have to approximate this angle here to the nearest degree. So since we have 52.6, I will stop at the 2, and after the 2 is a 6. So this 2 will go up by 1, and I get 53 degrees. Because the smallest unit I have on my protractor is 1 degree. So I need to approximate all my angles to the nearest degree in order to draw it. So I'll come here and put 53 degrees. So my next angle for grade 2 will be 41 over the 171. So I have 41 over 171 multiplied by 360. And of course, that's 360 degrees. That's put the degree symbol up here as well. So I'll go to my calculator and I'll put in 41 divided by 171 multiplied by 360. And of course, I'm writing this to the nearest degree. So this will be 86.3. So that'll just be 86 degrees. So I'll write 86 degrees. So the next one will be grade 3s. So I'll have 73 over 171 multiplied by 360 degrees. And that'll be equal to, we have 73 divided by 171 multiplied by 360, and that will be 153.6. So this 3 will go up by 1 and we get 154 degrees. So 154. So for grade 4s, we'll have 20 over the 171 multiplied by 360. So we put 20 divided by 171 multiplied by 360, and we get 42.1, so just remain 42. So we have 42 degrees. And then the last one, we have 12 over 171 multiplied by 360. So we have 12 divided by 171 multiplied by 360, and we will get 25.26, so that'll just be 25. So 25 degrees. Now let's just look at something here. If we add up all our angles, we should get 360 degrees because the total should be a full revolution, which is 360 degrees. So if I add the 53 plus the 86 plus the 154 plus the 42 plus the 25, let's see what we get. And we have our 360 degrees. Now, sometimes you may get a little less or a little more, depending on how you approximate. All right, but here I got the exact 360 degrees. But the approximations could affect this. So don't worry yourself too much if you get like 359 point something or 360 point something. All right, so now to draw our pie chart, we'll need our protractor and compass. The protractor to measure and draw the angles, and the compass to draw a circle. All right, so here I have my compass. Let's draw a circle. All right, so I'm done with the compass now. And where that compass point leaves the hole in the page, that will be the center of the circle. So now what I'll do is draw a straight line from the center of the circle to the circumference of the circle. Now this line doesn't have to be horizontal like this. You could draw it vertical, or you could draw it at any angle. This is just the starting point. I can start anywhere. So this here is our protractor, the instrument we use to measure and draw angles. This here is the center of the protractor. We have our inside scale and we have our outside scale. And what we want to do is place the vertex of the angle at the center of the protractor. So the vertex will be the center of the circle. And this arm of the angle, we want it to line up with the 0 on one of the scales. So if I bring my protractor and put the center of the protractor at the center of the circle, because that is where the vertex of the angle will be, if we look here, this arm of the angle lines up with the 0 on the outside scale. So you see starting 0, 10, 20, 30 like that. On the inside scale, you have what, 180 here, then 170, 160 going like that. So this arm here lines up with the 0 on the outside scale. Now our first angle is 53 degrees. So we have to go all the way around to 50. And each of the small strokes there will represent 1 degree. So we have 51, 52, 53. So we put a dot by 53. And what we do is remove the protractor. We get our ruler. And we line up the ruler with the center of the circle and that dot. And what we do is draw a straight line to touch the circumference of the circle. We don't go past the circumference. Yes, I know the dot is quite out here, but we just want to line it up. And this would be our first slice of the pie chart to represent grade 1s. I just put a little label inside of here that this is grade 1. So our next angle is 86 degrees. So what we do is place the center of the protractor at the center of the circle. We line up the 0 with one of the arms at the angle. And again, this arm here lines up with the 0 on the outside scale. So we're going around to 80 degrees. And then we'll check 6. So this middle will be 85 here. So 1 after it. That'll be here, put a dot. That'll be 86. So we move our protractor. Next, we line our ruler up with the center of the circle and that dot that we made. And now we'll draw a line from the center of the circle straight to touch the circumference. And this will be our section for grade 2. All right, and I just label it grade 2. So moving on to grade 3 now, our angle is 154 degrees. We place the center of the protractor at the center of the circle. We line up this arm with the 0 and it's on the outside scale. And now going all the way around to 150 degrees. Then we're going to count 40 small strokes after it, which is just 1 before the 155. So we place our little dot there. And now we line our ruler up with the center of the circle and the dot. And now we draw a line from the center of the circle to the circumference of the circle. And this here will represent the grade 3s. So I just put my little label here, grade 3. So this remaining slice here has to split between grade 5s and grade 4s. So our next angle for grade 4 would be 42 degrees. So again, we place the center of the protractor at the center of the circle. The arm of this angle lines up with the 0 on the outside scale, and we're going around to 42 degrees, right? So we're going around to 40 and then counting 2 of the smallest strokes after it. And we put a little dot there. Then we line our ruler up with the center of the circle and the dot, and we're going to draw a line to touch the circumference of the circle. So this will be grade 4, and since grade 5 is the last one remaining, this would be grade 5. So if we were to measure this angle, we should get the 25 degrees for the grade 5. Alright, so let's label this grade 4, and what I'll do is just measure this angle to make sure it's 25 degrees. So I place the center of the protractor at the center of the circle. Alright, I line the arm of the angle up with the 0, and it's on the outside scale. And if you go around, we see this is 20 here, and 25 would just be this big stroke here. That's this right here, so it lines up with the 25 degrees. And I'm just going to label it grade 5. Now, if you want, after you finish, you can erase these little dots, because of course you're going to draw this in pencil. So I'm just going to remove the dots. So there you have it, your pie chart. The categories are labeled. What you need is a title. So I have my title here, pie chart showing math grades for the 2023 exam. So you always need a title for any chart that you draw in statistics. Now, if you choose to color the slices and not put the name of the category, you'll have to do something called a legend, where you write out grade 1 and put the color that grade 1 is, grade 2, the color used for grade 2, grade 3, the color that you use for grade 3. So you can do that as well if you're using colors. Now, one of the reasons for drawing charts in statistics is to see the data visually so that you can pick up on patterns. Now, the advantage with a pie chart is that you can see things in terms of proportion. Like I can see grade 3 is the biggest proportion, and I can see how much times bigger grade 3 is than the others. So that's a main advantage in drawing a pie chart to represent the data visually. I can see what is the largest proportion, I can see what is the smallest proportion, and I can see how much times bigger one proportion is than the other. And that will bring us to the end of this video.